Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are your hosts sharing our crazy lives here on the ranch with you.
We're husband and wife, and we're going to chat with y'all about what's happening here at the ranch, in the world, and whatever else we're fixating on.
And our goal is to share our journey, some laughs, and maybe we'll all learn a little something along the way too.
Welcome to Happy Hour podcast, and buckle up.
Hey guys, it's Shannon here. Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. I thought I would talk about what my emphasis or focus is, or at least has been for the month of April, and probably will go into May and even June, and that is simplifying. I have a bad habit of making things a bit more difficult because I feel like there are so many moving parts to our personal lives and especially our business lives. And so sometimes my processes just have extra layers to it, or because I'm running 100 miles per hour, I am not really paying attention to all the things that are happening all over the place, and things just pile up and get just muddy. However, in order to continue to grow and maybe not crash and burn, I have had to make some choices and some changes, some of them hard, some of them no-brainer, and some of them much needed. And I just thought I would talk about simplifying in general. Let's first talk about why life gets so complicated in the first place for most of us. I feel like all of us are juggling family, work, a busy schedule, bills to pay, a daily list of things to do among all the other add-ons that life just throws our way. And it can feel complicated, heavy, and overwhelming. Raise your hand if that is you. Yes, even if you're in the car.
Hey, it's Shannon here. Do you want to know my number one secret to feeling good, including helping to ease my anxiety and stress? Yoga. I know, don't roll your eyes. But seriously, one of the best things I did for myself over a decade ago was delve deep into the rich yoga philosophy, history, and practices, which provided some incredible tools for healthy living, as well as inviting so much peace and joy into my life. And at the time, I had no intention of teaching yoga. I did it purely for me, to find love and acceptance of myself and the world around me, and I did. Of course, the training can also help if you want to then share the gift of yoga with others. All that to say, did you know that we now offer a yoga teacher training, including a 100% online option so that you can go completely at your own pace? Our online platform is bursting with so many incredible resources, including videos, workbooks, templates, and more. Plus, we have optional weekly live sessions and the ability to add on a 4-day in-person retreat right here at the ranch. Not to mention, you get access to the content for life, including our graduates who get to continue to attend the live sessions, if they want, to get CE credits too. So with affordable pricing, a convenient monthly payment option if you like, and the ability to go at your own pace, this is seriously the perfect time to join a community of incredible support, love, and learning. I did it for me, and I'd love to see you do it for you. To find out more, visit mindbodycomplete.com, then click trainings right at the top.
And also, I think the world seems to celebrate people doing more, being more, resting less, and simplifying does not become a priority. Instead, we add more to our plate in order to feel like we are worthy or successful or accomplished. And this is not just a society issue, but it's also an internal issue. We don't feel worthy unless we are completely burnt out and exhausted from what we have given of ourselves. Damn it, right? However, simplifying is focusing on what is important to us. Not what you have to do, but what you want to do. And sometimes the path to getting more requires us to do less. I want to say that one more time. Sometimes the path to getting more requires us to do less. I want to say it's important to note that simple doesn't always equate to easy. You might simplify something in your life, but the path to doing so may require some hard decisions, hard choices, and hard work in order to simplify it. For instance, I had to make some hard choices, as I mentioned, and I have a few more hard choices to make. One of the hard choices I had to do was to eliminate some business partnerships and relationships that just no longer lined up with where I'm heading, as well as provided too many obstacles and hardships that I just didn't want or need in my life. It feels very freeing to do so, but it's not easy. I have more to tackle in this area as well. I also added in some new positions in my company that may seem like I'm adding things rather than simplifying. However, The goal in doing so was to simplify my responsibilities and roles so that I'm not just working in my business, but on my business. And this has been a big one for me and for the ranch and just overall for the business is we've added some incredible staff here that are just beautiful human beings and allow me to focus on things like the overall picture, growing the business, and utilizing other people's strengths that where I might not have such strengths. I think that's one of the biggest things about owning a business or leadership in general is recognizing where your area is lacking, and you could spend time to beat that area up and focus on it and grow it and just, whatever, or you can bring someone on your team that is strong in that area and you complement each other. And that's how things really, really expand and grow. Some things that are a bit easier that I did, but still require effort and just time to get it done. And I'm still working on, like all of this that I'm sharing with you is in process. So cleaning up my spaces, organizing, eliminate, simplify from kitchen drawers, closets, everything. I mean, we have a big commercial sized dumpster here on the property, and that damn thing has been filled to like the brim. If you follow us on social media and you see our stories, you'll see us like playing at the dumpster, trying to get it as full as possible. Not to mention the fact that I also have dropped off so many donations that the people at Goodwill, when they see me coming, they're like waving, they know exactly who I am. But one of the ways that I do this, that I clean up my spaces, is I kind of use an abbreviated version of some of the popular methods by asking 3 questions to every single item. Have I used it in the last year? Does it bring me joy? And is it necessary? If I answer yes to all 3 of those questions, it stays. No questions asked, and it just gets organized or put in the proper space. If I answer no to 1 or more of the questions, I consider tossing it or donating it. I gotta say, I'm pretty damn quick to toss shit right now. I just want simplicity. Another thing is cleaning up our digital world, computer files and emails. This is by far one of the biggest challenges for me. I get hundreds of emails a day between my husband's business, my many faucets of my business, the ranch, and then just junk mail. I get hundreds of emails a day. And I really am trying to focus on doing a better job that when an email comes in that email time frame as far as answering emails, then I either respond and delete, respond and file, unsubscribe, delete, like get it done, get it out. Don't just let it sit there. It's taking up energetic space when emails sit in our inbox, just like our phones. Those emails and texts and messages that are coming all over on phones that are just sitting there either waiting for a response or to be deleted or whatever. It takes up energetic space. So clean it up. Maybe even an idea is for the month of May, you unsubscribe to things that just are not necessary, that are just taking up space. That could be me, by the way. I'm totally accepting and understanding, and I get it. Like if you're getting my emails and you're like, yeah, it's taking up space and you need to delete and unsubscribe, I get it. But I totally cheer you on with whatever decision needs to be made in order for you to feel free and uncluttered. A couple other ideas that you can do as you are simplifying is writing a to-do list before bed. I use the notes on my app. It's the notes that like you have to actually check off when it's done. It's like reminders, I guess actually is what it's called. It's the reminders app on my iPhone. And I just update it for the next day. I look at what's on there for the next day, what needs to be added for the next day. And I love it because when it's due, because you can assign a date, time to it, you can even assign a location. Like if you show up at the grocery store, it'll tell you what you need to buy. But it won't go away until you click that it's done. And that's the kind of thing that I thrive off of. And I just kind of coincide that with my calendar and what needs to be done and simplify, outline. Speaking of calendars, I'm being super picky about what goes on mine right now. That means I'm being super picky about meetings that are requested of me, whether it be virtual, phone, or in person. And really asking myself, and this goes kind of for everything that I'm doing now. I mean, everything is if it's coming to me and asking me for something, time, money, whatever, knowledge, advice, my response, whatever my response is to that, will that get me closer to my goal and or does it bring me joy? And if I can't answer yes to both of those, then it just is not going to take up my energetic space. not on my calendar, not on my day, and not on my brain if I can help it. So super picky about my calendar. Another really good thing to simplifying and just feeling organized and kind of free, believe it or not, is to meal plan. Maybe even pack your lunch the night before. Do you guys do this? Does anybody do this? This is on my list to explore. I've actually never really done it more than just like, I don't know, tonight we're going to do this for dinner. And then I just go pick it up. Pick it up being either pick it up because it's somebody else cooked it or pick it up so that I can cook it. But holy shit balls, the people that do it swear it makes a difference. So I would really love to hear if this is a tool that you use. It's one that I'm exploring. I intermittent fast for most days. So my first meal is lunch, and having it ready would be a game changer. And I do this sometimes, but my meals are pretty simple when I'm running around the ranch. They're like boiled eggs, hummus, and cucumbers type thing. Like they're pretty simple. So, and I think crock pot meals and meal planning could just really be a game changer. So I'm going to explore that, and I'd love to hear from you if it's something that you do. Here is something that I'm focusing on, and it kind of coincides with the calendar thing, and that is just saying no more often. I say yes to all the things most of the time, or at least I used to. My husband has called me an OC, an overcommitter. I am currently making a very pointed effort of saying no and cleaning up that calendar. And just like I said, if it doesn't bring me joy or bring me closer to my ultimate goals, then I'm saying no or removing it, period. Here's something that I'm really pretty good at, and I do think it makes a big difference, and that is having a solid morning and evening routine. Just as I focus on simplifying and cleaning up and organizing, I'm just fine-tuning it, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. And if you're ever curious about what that is, let me know, and I'm happy to share what my morning and evening routine is. But I'd love to hear if you have one too. As you know, maybe, possibly, fitness and health in general is just a focus of mine. I'll call it health more than fitness. Fitness is just, I don't know, that's not really the word that I'm looking for, although there is obviously exercise and things within my health focus. But making it easy and fun to me are so crucial. And that's what keeps you engaged, and the easy simplify. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't even have to be, I don't know, so complicated. I don't know what other word to put to it. It doesn't have to be so time consuming either. Just making good choices, one good choice after another. What's the next best good choice? Another one that I'm focusing on is to pause more. You know, I get so many people out here at the ranch, and I can't tell you how much it means to me when they share what their time meant here at the ranch and how touched they are and moved they are, and in awe even of the space and what it does for them. And sometimes I forget that that's what I'm running around going crazy for, is that. And just to pause and take that in, you know? I'm just running around chopping things down or fixing things or repairing things or planning things, and I forget to just pause and take in the space that has been created and just to appreciate. And that means appreciate too what you might experience if you come here or have been here. So pausing more, maybe even decluttering our mind more, meditating, breathing, finding moments where quiet time is okay, and shutting off the digital noise. So the pausing more is definitely something that I'm focusing on.
Hey guys, it's Shannon. I'm just going to interrupt for just a second to ask you for a big favor. Will you pause right now and go leave us a review if you haven't already? Or if you're not subscribed, maybe click that little plus button. We are so appreciative.
Here's a tip for you, by the way, especially when we're talking about getting out of the digital noise, is maybe take the social media off of your phone. I said it. Take the apps off your phone. And instead, schedule your social media on your computer, which puts just a little bit more of a barrier there. But y'all, it is a time sucker. It's a time sucker, and you're spending time scrolling through someone else's life instead of living your own. Not to mention subconsciously what social media does to our hearts and our spirits and our minds. And so maybe just limit it to 2 10-minute check-ins a day and clean up who you follow. So that's a big deal, guys, simplifying social media. Another one is to consider distancing yourself from toxic relationships. I have done a really good job of this over the last few years. Hey, listen, someone might feel the same way about me, you know, and not everyone's going to like me, just like not everyone's going to like you. And maybe I challenge people's thinking or being, or just my personality. It doesn't make them feel good, and they had to distance themselves from me. And I have had to make those tough choices as well. And it feels right and it feels good. And I send love from a distance. There's no ugliness, at least not on my part, but it's something to consider. It's okay to send love from a distance. Ditch the shit that brings you down, period. People, things, jobs. Y'all, I will get on my bandwagon when it comes to jobs. I have heard so many times people tell me I can't quit my job because of XYZ. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that completely. You know, if you were on your deathbed tomorrow and your doctor said the only way you could live is if you quit your job, would you quit your job? I would hope the answer is yes. Like, your health and your mental state is so much more important than whatever income is coming in from that. So anyway, ditch the shit that brings you down. Many of these things that I'm talking about when it comes to simplifying our lives is you have to know what your ultimate why is. Like, what is your goal? What is your why? What are you striving for in life? What are you living and breathing for? You have to kind of know that before you can even do the necessary cleanup. I suggest, if maybe I'm triggering some thinking on your part, that you first start by journaling out your why. Like, why? Why are you here? I'm not talking religious purposes or spiritual purpose. Just what are you wanting to accomplish by being alive? When you pass on and somebody writes your obituary, what do you want them to say about you? What is your why? What is it? Spend some time thinking about that, and then put together a plan to simplify your life so that that is what drives your decisions and your choices. I would love to hear what are some ways that you simplify or organize or focus on your why. I'd love to hear it. Let me know if you guys want to hear any more of these kinds of podcasts. If you want me to share my routines with you or some of the other ways that I focus on having healthy boundaries, all those kind of fun stuff. And I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks for listening to the Happy Hour Podcast. If you'd like to learn more, visit us online at www.happyhourpodcast.org.
And you're welcome.